Hey, so this is James from Support the Scene, and I'm hanging out with a very special guest, and we have a cool song that will be coming out soon. Just a little fun cover. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself and introduce yourself to the audience here?
Yes. I go by Raene, Raene. But yeah, I'm a Vancouver artist and songwriter and producer.
Now, did you pick Raene just because you're in Vancouver and it rains a lot?
No. No, it's funny. No, I wanted something that really embodied who I become on stage, like, because I feel like I get very... And I'm a sassy person, but also on stage I get way more like sassy and confident. So I wanted to like almost name this character I become. Perfect. So yeah, I ended up finding like the French word for queen. It's like Raine, and then I just switched up the spelling a bit.
That's cool. I used to produce R&B singer that went by Raene, but he went RaYne.
Oh.
And we were about finished the album, and then we realized that was a skateboarding company.
No, I definitely like did my research. I was like, I hope no one else has, but no, I like got it registered now, so it's
perfect.
It's mine. I was like, yeah,
yeah, like the having that persona or a name that you know, a brand is basically what it boils down to. Mm-hmm. It's almost very critical nowadays to have, you know. It's interesting seeing acts that are like, oh, we're the Tom Tucker band or something like that, and you know, you don't have a way, you know, you don't know whether Tom Tucker band is a country band or a rock band or a fusion dance Afro-American band. With things like Beyonce, Raene, Usher, you can build a brand around it. And you can have people identify things. One of my friends, Antoinette, she's Antoinette and
she's
the
so
latest.
Great.
Yeah,
she has
kills
amazing
it.
vocals. She's awesome.
Yeah. I've done a few live videos for her lately. Cool. But you know, she's Antoinette.
Oh yeah.
And the latest is basically just the backing band.
Yeah.
So I remember there was another big pop artist that was the same thing. It wasn't.
I remember Selena Gomez. It was like Selena Gomez and The Scene.
That's it.
For a while, and she
yeah.
I don't know what happened to The Scene. They just
it just became more pop oriented.
Yeah.
more tracks, and that's the thing. Like with your music, are you keeping with? Because I've heard some things and they're amazing. But are you with the new record? Are you keeping things fairly organic music wise, or are you going more with tracks and more like the EDM indie route kind of thing?
Well, I definitely find like for my production style, I really enjoy mixing acoustic instruments, but also getting like some synths and like weird like vocal effects in there. So I kind of like colliding both worlds and just kind of do whatever suits the song best. Like I definitely view songs as little children, and I like each child to grow up to like who they want to be instead of trying to like force all my songs into one specific style. Well,
that's cool. Do you find then with building a brand and with building a sound, really, it's been an evolution from taking songs when you just write them on the guitar or the piano, and then really flushing them out with in the studio kind of thing? Do you find like, as you say, your children, do you find that you get favorites, or that some get left on the wayside when things all get flushed out?
Wow, that's a really good question. I don't know. I definitely find there's like for my EP right now, I'm like, I have one song left I need to work on, but I definitely find there's certain points in my life where I'll focus on one song more than the others, but then just kind of build it up. But I always like my songs to get to like the same level of, I don't know, I don't want to use the word perfection, but because perfection and art don't mix, and I'm really trying hard not to be a perfectionist, but just like that, level of excellence, I guess. It feels authentic and feels like ready for the world to hear.
That's cool. And how long have you spent on this batch of songs?
A really long time. Like I about like 3.5 years. I started working on them while I was studying at Nimbus. So it was like while I was learning like the ropes of like engineering and production, I also was like trying to figure out my own sound as well. So it's super fun.
It's a great place to do it. I know a lot of recording schools had this. Mine did, where you weren't allowed to record. Like let's say there's a band project, and you know that one person in your group of students is in a band, and you're not allowed to record that guy's band. You're supposed to go find others. Did you ever abuse that rule and record your own stuff and submit it as projects?
Yeah, I know. For projects, I couldn't submit myself.
Yeah,
it drove me nuts because like I don't know, but I feel like I learned a lot by working on other people's, because then I don't know, that way I was kind of focusing more on like just like the production and engineering chops, and like there's no like I don't really have emotion in other people's songs because I wasn't the one who wrote it.
Well, yeah.
Makes sense. So it kind of helped me like hone my skills that helped me like work on my song.
Yeah, being on the flip side of the glass really gives you a unique perspective.
Yeah.
Especially as a singer-songwriter, do you find like would you recommend going to some type of production school or taking courses online to further your music development?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Like I honestly, like, I can't even. It feels so weird to me that I used to not understand, like, even, like, using Pro Tools or just, I don't know, I feel like I have way more control over my sound, but also, like, then if I'm working with a producer, I can always, like, just take the tracks and kind of just work on it by myself. I love that, especially with, like, vocals, because a lot of times I'll just, like, take the tracks and then just do background vocals in my room, because, like, I know I love it. It's so much fun.
Yeah, okay, so speaking about that, we'll touch upon the main topic. I guess is a good thing because you have a little recording background, working with different things. Do you think do-it-yourself recordings versus in the studio recordings? Do you think that there's a larger benefit in going into the professional studio with a treated room versus doing like a home recording with knowledge? Like, what are your thoughts on the verses, on the pros and cons of each?
I don't know, I definitely think you need to like evaluate like your skills, but like for example, like I'm not really that. I don't enjoy recording drums. It's like I'm kind of like about them. So I'd rather just get someone who knows what they're doing in like a proper room. Because it's like the thing with recordings, like they're forever, and it's like even though they're not going to be your only recording, and you have like the art isn't going to be perfect, but I don't know. I feel like you owe it to yourself and the song just to like, I don't know, just make it the best. Like the song is king. Just like do the best for the song. That's
cool because that's I know a lot of people that have just the same train of thought. Mm-hmm. Whereas for me personally, I find it's a little different. I find it more like recording is a snapshot of where your song and your music is at the moment.
Totally. Yeah.
I find that there's a lot of people or a lot of bands even, or musicians that you'll see, they'll have, like, you'll see one of their big hits, mm-hmm. but on an unreleased demo album that they did, and, they put in the best of time, they went in the studio, did their thing there, mm-hmm. but it's just a snapshot of what that song is and what they were then, and then, when you're working as an artist in the scene, and you're trying to represent yourself the best, do you find it's good to put out more content or quality content?
Honestly, I'm still figuring that out. Like, I mean, this year is like the first time I've released like there's been music where I've like my vocals have been featured that has been released in the past few years, but like it's like projects and songs that are my own. Like this year has been the first time I've released that in like 7 years. So I don't know, honestly. I'm like still figuring that out. I think once this project is done, I'll probably stick to more like singles and stuff. But yeah, I'll let you know when I figure that out.
yeah, because going back to the recording thing, rounding back is because my point was if you're doing putting out more content, being the ability to, like what we just did, is track a song, we'll mix it. I can mix it, master it, and get it out in a couple days.
Yeah.
And bing bang boom, it's a product. It may not, we're using computer generated piano. We didn't go record a grand piano. Like, do you think that putting out content like that is acceptable in nowadays and age, or do you think it's better still to get to just go and like cool, in the studio you have an actual piano, you mic it up, you have a few string players come in and it sounds amazing, versus something that we just did very much off the cuff?
Yeah, honestly, for cover like projects like this, like I'm totally fine with just getting like the creativity out. But then like honestly, for my own stuff, like I try to use as little MIDI as possible. Like I never want MIDI piano on my never. I don't like MIDI piano.
You can just always tell.
Yeah, and people are like, no, you can't tell. You can always tell. I don't know, and it's just, I just like the feel of like, I don't know, because if it's like own song, I just like, I don't know, I just want to treat it well, just get like those real instruments in, and yeah. So I guess like when it's my own art, it's definitely like taking the time, but then something I've been learning is just like knowing when to let go of the art and be like, all right, it's finished now, or else you can work on it for your life.
Well, especially having the tools, like being able to mix things yourself, you can just I think this is a shout out to all the engineer friends that are listening, that we've all spent the time where you're just spending hours on a mix or just tweaking things, and then you keep version 1.5, version 2, version 2.5, and then the minute you reach like 13, you're like, okay, maybe there's not that big a difference between 2 dBs of kick. I won't mix my own stuff. I get someone else to mix it. Well, it's just like
too much.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah. And it's always good having that outside ear.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because after you put so much love into it, and then being able just to, as you said, just let it go.
Yeah.
Do you have any shout outs to people who worked on your album?
Oh my god, I have so many, but I'm really scared I'm gonna forget someone. Liam Moose, he like is mixing all of it. He like produced like some of the songs. Incredible engineer. A lot of other people that helped me, like Eva Smith helped me write it. Eric Gray helped me with track. Honestly, there are so many people. I'm so like yeah, just lots of amazing Nimbus people.
Well, that's one thing I love about Nimbus, and shout out to Nimbus for really fostering that community of alumni that are helping out. You have all the teachers. You have basically a whole support system there.
Yeah,
and they do a lot of great stuff for the scene. I know that they have their film and crew now that goes out and do like multi-camera live videos. They have their business course, which really informs artists on the real nitty-gritty.
Oh, that was so helpful. It felt like it just opened up my world so much.
It's one of those things where, like, when you're in high school and you leave high school and you're all of a sudden you have to do your own taxes, and you're like, why didn't they teach this in high school? And it's the same thing with Nimbus. Nimbus does a good job about teaching you a lot about that stuff. Does Nimbus have a thing touching upon taxes and being able to write stuff off and all that kind of fun stuff?
Yeah, even like into like visas and like U.S. taxes if you're like making money down there. Yeah, no, it's so helpful.
Yeah, a lot. Even Arts Institute I think we had 2 days of course about that, and it was very much like, here's a boot ton of information, and no questions asked.
Yeah.
I still have no clue about it. You know,
I just stuff like stuff I have to like revisit a lot, but it's, I don't know, just having a general idea of just like business, even like legal terms for contracts and stuff. It's so helpful just to know how to not get screwed over.
well, and that's the big thing too, is in this day and age where everyone's a radio host or everyone's a promoter and this kind of stuff, we navigating your way around the online world and where you're exchanging money and things like that, do you find it's better that you're armed with the tools of knowledge?
Yes, absolutely. But then also like another thing is just to like kind of build a team of people around you, because it's okay, something I've been realizing, it's okay if you don't know how to do everything or don't know everything, but just having like that community and network of people around you like really helps a lot.
That's really true. A friend of mine that's a promoter and in a cool band, Joey Hawkin, said to me in an interview, he was like, if there's something that I'm not good at, I would rather pay money and have someone that is good about it to do it.
Totally.
And it's something that I find a lot of people nowadays overlook. They think, oh, I can take photos. My girlfriend can take photos of our show. It's like, yes, you'll get photos, but they're not the ones you want to submit to magazines. They're not the ones you want to highlight. There's professionals for a reason.
Totally, yeah. Totally.
Anywho, so I think that rounds us out. Thanks everyone for listening. Once again, if you want to sit on the couch, as I've been saying lately in the last couple episodes, just contact me and Facebook and all that kind of stuff. And we have a cool festival coming up, Identity. That's an all ages LGBTQ festival. Thanks to our sponsors, and I'll be telling you guys more details about that. We just got a good grant for that now, just accepted today, a couple hours ago. So super excited about it and bringing it to. We have some great musicians lined up. So anywho, thanks again for joining me.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
And we'll see you guys later. Bye.